Pop, 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 pop.
Damn.
What up?
What up?
Bitch, I'm a standout.
What?
I'm sitting on top of the world. You got your hands out.
I don't know what you're singing.
I don't know either. I just made it up. What up, man? It feels like forever every time we start this up again next week. It's crazy. Feels like it's been 3 weeks.
Well, we did one last week, no?
Yeah, but it just feels like it's been that long for some reason.
Yeah, there's been a lot of geek news.
Really.
What's that, dude?
It's because it's the only thing we can do. Usually you're supposed to just be chilling inside or going for a walk, right? We're still in that life.
That's so true. That's true. I mean, yeah, the world is there's a.
I legit look forward to Wednesdays just to do the show because I'm like sitting at home, I'm just working, I'm doing my usual stuff, and then I'm just like on Tuesdays I'm like, come on Wednesday.
Oh God, okay.
What about you, Skinny? What do you look forward to every week?
Friday?
He's like, that shit hasn't changed.
Skinny's the mall of this podcast. He's too cool
swear.
to say anything like,
oh, that is crazy. That's a pretty good comparison. That is a pretty damn good comparison.
Yeah, I'm cool for Fridays. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not.
Make Dave the Rory.
Maybe.
No, Dave's.
What's that?
No, actually, wait. No, Dave's Rory. Actually, he's a mix between Parks and Rory. He might be Screen Man.
Yeah.
He might.
These are not insults, by the way.
Not insults at all.
No, I should figure out the connection because I don't know the reference.
Yeah, I realize that.
That's usually the common denominator here, Dave.
Huh?
That's usually the common denominator.
Mm-hmm.
It's all love, homie.
I don't have a good comeback now, but when I do, you'll have.
there's no comeback needed, is what he's trying to say.
Exactly. I was just gonna say the same thing.
Man, you guys have traumatized Dave so much that every time you speak in his direction now, he has to make sure he has something in the pocket loaded.
Ready?
Have something in the clip for you.
It's the jungle.
It's the jungle out here.
It's a jungle. What
Speaking of jungle over there, Tarzan, how's your hair so long still?
I like that Skinny like to try and corner him. Oh, yo, we're skipping. Okay, I love it.
We're skipping that one.
I love my hair. I'll say that. I agree it's too long, but it's not cool to be going in public in certain areas of Montreal. And where I get my haircuts in the area, that's like, if there's a red zone, it's like it's downtown. It's, you know.
Oh, okay.
Really want to go there to get a haircut.
Not to give up your location, but that's a pretty long drive for you to go get your haircut, bro.
Well, it's also a friend who's like, you know, also supporting something.
I would like to point out something real quick though for people. If you guys know about Montreal, Quebec, the first wave, Montreal was the epicenter for Quebec.
Mm-hmm.
This second wave, though, we're not the epicenter, thankfully. We are still one of the highest, but there are other places where the numbers are popping up. So, you know, I like when I was downtown 2 days ago, I was in Chapters downtown because I had to pick up something. And I walked around that store, and at no point was anyone more than a foot from me. Like, you know, so it happens. It's the pandemic. It is what it is.
But I've been able to get away with doing the size myself for so long that's like, it's even less motivation to go get it all done.
Are you how do you know, where's your line? How do you know like where, for anyone watching or listening, we're talking about you see the line. Okay.
My hair is not too tight on now, so it's like you don't see it. Yeah. That's another reason why I need to get it trimmed to a certain degree. I gotta lose I'm thinking of kind of like an inch off or something.
You have to shave the sides.
I do. That's 100%. I usually do that on my own, but I've just been lazy. You know, quarantine life.
That's why you get.
I don't have video calls at work. This is the most video calls I have in a week.
Oh yeah, you're not doing for the company you work for. I feel like you're always on video calls. No, you guys aren't doing that.
There are a lot of people that do, but for our department, we were doing video calls a different way, usually having them in like boardrooms and stuff. So they didn't give us the right equipment. Some of us don't have built-in cameras in our laptops and things like that, and it's all logistical stuff. So we can't have like a Zoom call or something, but we've done Zoom calls, but since it's not a secure line, it's more like team building stuff we do through the Zoom calls.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So like we still get a chance to see each other, but like that's like once a month, and like there are even some people in my group are like, yeah, can't wait to see how long it gets. Like I'm like, yeah.
Oh boy.
Some people, it's not just haterade that I get out there. Some people support.
Hey, we're not, homie. We were never hating on the hair.
Yeah, not at
I
all.
would always just at least keep it clean. That's the only thing, because it looked good.
Maybe not on in live, but you hated on.
Hey, yeah, I did. I hated on it a little bit. I'm sorry, homie. I'm sorry.
Yo.
Toby is back.
Change?
Yeah, I realized I was wearing a black shirt. My background is black, and I look like a floating head. So I was like, I might as well go change and go grab a shirt.
This man went to go change. You know he's doing it for you people.
I look around. You're wearing a bright color. Dave's wearing a bright color. Skinny's wearing a bright color. I was like, all right, let me just add to this situation going on here and add the floral print. Summer's over, but get a little splash of summer here.
Oh yeah. We still got to try and get as much summer. Well, actually, yeah, it's officially spring, right? This is not fall. I mean,
2020. I wouldn't doubt if we were going back.
Maybe.
If it was backwards, if it was inverted, like in I would take Okay, real quick, if you could do tenant inversion and live everything we've gone through right now backwards for like how many months till you could get back to the beginning, would you do it so you could plan better?
Whoa.
Oh yeah, baby, I'm going there.
No.
That's tough. That's tough.
Because hold on. So I'd also change investments. I would invest money. I'd be like, I have extra money here. Boom.
If everything happens the same way,
everything happens the exact same way.
Everything is the same. You're just going backwards like intended. So actually, why don't we just go in order? Yeah. No, not you, Skinny.
I had a shitty summer, boy.
That's fair.
No.
That's fair.
What about you, Dave?
I would do because then I also get to relive summer again, and I'd better plan.
Relive that. I know. Yeah.
Okay, so Dave has a reason. He has a reason to go backwards.
Things again.
That's true. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Would you change anything though? Would you try to influence something outside of investments and all the serious adult crap? Let's talk about.
I don't think I'd be able to change anything because unfortunately, no one for me was really also affected too much by COVID. Maybe I would. Like no one was like changing jobs or anything that I would be able to influence. I'd maybe be able to tell someone not to spend money or something like that if I saw it, but I'm like, nah.
No, not much. Yeah, it's actually tough. It's tough to think about because like if I go back to the beginning, it wasn't good right from the beginning.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Those like, if anything, the first 4 months were worse. So I'd be going from now where I'm sort of accustomed to it to when it was tough. You know what I mean? That's a tough proposition. But what would you plan differently in terms of like, I don't know, loading up on toilet paper before things went downhill?
I would like to set myself up so that because remember, when you're going backwards, there's two of you. There's the one that's still going forward, and then there would be like the ghost me that has to like live in secret, helping the real me out, like renting an apartment somewhere. I don't know. Wearing a gas. You know what would be great though? Because everyone would see me walking around with an oxygen tank backwards and would think it's perfectly normal. So one.
What happens to the point where you get back to where you started from? Is there three of you at that point? Because remember, you went back at a certain point. But what if you follow yourself and you hide out in that apartment and you get to the point from where you decide to jump back? Then there's three of you?
Yeah. In the movie, there were three of them. Remember the movie?
There could be as many that's needed to correct the mistake.
Yeah. You could flip to the turnstile.
Killing myself, bro.
No,
and I would put up a fight too. Listen, you told me what? No.
That sounded like a Drake line. Somewhere in there is a Drake line. You know, where he's like, every song sounds like Drake featuring Drake. That's what I thought about for some reason. When you talked about beating yourself up.
Drake featuring Drake.
Oh man, that's great. Man, that's tough. Man, that is tough. That is tough. I don't know. Like, what I would do is probably like knowing the things I felt I was lacking.
Yeah.
Along the way, like stupid shit, like barbells and dumbbells and shit. I would probably like drop them off randomly on my porch. You know what I mean? Like, just be like, there's a random benefactor out there looking out for you.
More suspicious if you, that's mad sus. If you're like open the door and you're just weightlifting. 2 reasons that sounds suspicious. One, it's really rude because it's like, yo, bitch, keep working out. You're gonna lose it. At that point, if I was you, I would think it's my partner being subtle, like, hey, don't lose. That's why
what's funny. What's funny is saying that now, I would automatically go to there's a future me out there looking out for me. And
Nope. Yo, such a sci-fi dream. Like,
I swear, that would be the dream right there.
Yo, if any of you are tuned in right now and you want to get in the comments, don't forget you can jump in the comments on Facebook or on YouTube. If you guys want to watch on YouTube, throw us your comments, but let us know, would you guys tenant yourself through the pandemic? So run that shit backwards, living your best life as incognito.
What's funny about the comment Lee just said is in the one, Jet Li is trying to like kill different versions of himself, right? To gain more, and the more he kills, the more powerful that version of him gets.
Like Highlander.
Yeah, that feels to me like who was saying like Gambit going around and killing all versions of himself. Right? It's kind of along that.
Well, I mean, that one was not doing it for power. That one was doing it because since he just in that one was from an alternate reality, and he scorched his reality by accident because basically Mr. Sinister never reduced his power because Gambit's power isn't at maximum capacity. It's at whatever Sinister destroyed it at. And then like he's just going from Earth to Earth killing Gambits to make sure that they don't destroy the Earth.
Oh, okay. So there's a different motive behind it, but still, it's kind of along the same line.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's cool.
Big Grizz is jumping back on the Muppet bandwagon from last episode. Big Grizz, back to the Muppets real quick about how they aren't scary. Let's Google Sweetums.
Yep,
and
I'm doing it.
One of the many.
Yeah, like come on. How is that not what kid goes, that's something I want in my room. I want that stuffed animal, that crazy looking freaking thing right there.
Sweetums is the best. Stop that.
Badass. Bro, I guarantee if you were 6 or 7 and you went to school with that stuffed animal, no kid would be your friend. None of them.
I was 6 or 7 and I watched that.
Yeah, but you didn't take that from your house into school. The kids didn't know what you were really into, you freak. You're like,
you were.
Nah.
I thought I was gonna kill somebody. Fuck them kids, man. Damn 1990s racist ass kids.
Hey, wait, hold on. We just took a turn again. We're talking about
in a weird direction so quick.
My name's Akil. Everyone was just like, hey, does that mean you're going to kill me? And I was like, ha ha ha.
Oh, okay, yeah. Kid jokes.
So I would bring Sweetums to my school, actually. Run up on them.
Yo, zoom into that picture of Sweetums. For those listening, sorry, you gotta go ahead and watch when we post this up. But
ugly. If you guys
that freaked me out.
That's the kid. Boy. Him and Snuffy.
Oh my
Snuffleupagus?
Yeah, boy. Snuffy.
Snuffy was fine. Snuffy was just a big old elephant.
Snuffy's okay, but
this is not a big old elephant. This is some weird marsh like monster. Yeah.
This is clearly an ogre.
But I wasn't scared of it when I was a kid because when I saw it, I knew it looked like a guy in a suit. Like there's a difference. Like when you guys were kids, those guys didn't look like guys in suits to you.
No, I didn't think so. No, they didn't.
Okay.
Listen,
I guess the monsters
you guys are making this sound like being scared of like scary looking Muppets as a 6-year-old was an irrational fear, but I have to defend 6-year-old me here.
Said those words. That was the most putting words in someone else's mouth.
Yo, and look, Sweetums. Hold on, let me put this up. Sweetums was not a Muppet. He was life size. That's so Sweetums, those pants. What is it? Labyrinth. Where the what's that movie called? Where the Wild Things Are. Like those are creepy ass Muppet looking shit.
Labyrinth was a freaky movie as a kid. That was one of my mom's, if not my mom's favorite movie. So I've seen that movie at a very young age. As I grew older, I very much appreciate it. I think it's a great story. But as a kid, there's a specific scene where the girl enters a room full of new characters, and they're supposed to be like the baddies. And you have 3 of them take off their heads and like juggle it between each other. That freaked the shit out of me as a kid. I'll give you that.
Okay, but hold on.
Only time.
One thing though, if you guys are gonna...
Sorry, hold on. Does Devin have kids?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, yeah, Devin, if Sweetums was a giant teddy bear, I dare you to give your kids that one day just as a present, and then record the reaction and send it our way. I want to play it. Like, I guarantee you, you're either gonna have one super traumatized kid or a serial killer on your hands. If they like Sweetums.
You didn't tell the man he has a serial killer in his house.
No. Toby didn't speak for the rest of us.
Oh my god. Sorry, Doc, you were saying something else.
I would just like to point out, if you guys are going to talk about creepy looking characters, Angelica Houston did the movie The Witches, which had Muppets in it.
That shit was messed up.
That one was creepy.
When they changed, their faces changed.
Yeah. And that was like, but that, I mean, yeah, like that. I remember being scared when I was a kid of that one, but that, I just knew that was a Muppet universe film, which I don't know why I knew that as a kid. You could tell I was into the backstage stuff as a kid, that I knew that the Muppets were involved with the witches.
Toby,
but
look up Freedom's Dancing with Nancy.
Nah. I don't want that on my search engine.
It's a good video, man.
I'm good. My YouTube suggestions are already weird enough. I don't need Sweetums in the mix. I'm good.
Yo, shout out to all the Gregs out there, the Danny Gonzalez Gregs. I don't know what I clicked on YouTube, but YouTube keeps suggesting this random white boy named Danny Gonzalez, who essentially is just a Seinfeld of the millennial age.
Oh,
like,
really?
All he does is observational comedy, but he does it. Yo, legit, and the voice is almost Seinfeld. In 2020, this kid is just doing Seinfeld if Seinfeld grew up with a computer and was on YouTube. Like, I'm watching his videos and I'm just like, yo, but this shit's actually kind of funny because you're still weird and manic and I don't understand what's going on. So shout out to the Gregs, because his fans are called Gregs. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know. That was just a random one for you folks out there.
It's just funny.
Yeah. All right, let's move up this damn Muppets topic. It's driving me crazy.
Glad you're scared. Okay. Muppets conversation.
About to have some nightmares tonight and shit, all because of you guys.
This is all Jason's fault.
So
disruptor
for the wrestling fans in here, someone else sort of I guess passed away. I didn't really. Did you guys want to go ahead? I guess either Merc or
I just added it because I know we have a few wrestling fan listeners, and I know you guys liked it to a certain degree. But if anyone remembered the Road Warriors or Legion of Doom, they were both called the same thing. But it was Animal and Hawk. There were 2 guys that came to the ring with like face paint and like these. It was like hockey these shoulder press pads with like spikes on it. It was a very distinct look. They were a dominant tag team. And one of the members passed away today or over the weekend.
Was he the one who would bite the foam in the corner?
No, that's another guy.
That's another animal.
That's George the Animal Steel.
Oh, okay.
He used to take something to make his tongue green, and he used to bite the sides. This guy was more like had face paint, very warrior like style. He cut his hair that was like a mohawk and had like some trim on the side, but was like also kind of bald. It was a very interesting look.
Legion of Doom was like kind of on the edge of when I started watching more as a kid.
No, they were huge in the 80s and early 90s, and they influenced a lot of wrestling that is today. And one of it was Hawk and Animal. Hawk passed away very early on due to complications. Animal passed away, from my understanding, of natural causes this past weekend, which kind of sucked because apparently for for him. He was celebrating his wedding anniversary at the time, which is a little sad. But no, so just condolences to his family and whatnot. And it's a shame.
Yeah,
I don't, Ryan or Skinny, you guys know him or?
I never knew who was who. I know who you're talking about. I remember the football hat spikes. I remember one of them was like balded in the middle with the hair tufts on the side, if I'm not mistaken. And
before.
They had opposite haircuts as well, right? So
and
then,
then,
if you showed me a picture of them, I would know them too. But I just didn't really watch Legion fight, unfortunately. I think.
Yeah, and question: did they cycle through different wrestlers on Legion?
No.
They did LOD 2000, and that was them coming back. Then they did a slight version of it with this other guy called Gonna Bother Me.
Draws.
Not Draws. They tried to do it with Draws, but then they tried to do it again with Heinrich or something. And
you're right. That was Animal and Heinrich. Heinrich was supposed to replace Hawk, who passed away earlier then. Yeah. So that wrestler at that time was the one that unfortunately passed away on the weekend. Okay. So again, just condolences to his family and all that. Because we've talked about wrestling the eras that you guys were talking about before. I thought this would have been something a bit more.
I've been seeing all the people my age group, the Zennials, as we jokingly like to be called, posting about it. Like all the kids that were in high school at the time who watch wrestling have been posting and have been sending love and condolences to his family. So I get it. I just don't remember the person. But of course I send my condolences. I always feel weird sometimes. I feel like an imposter when I say RIP to someone that I don't remember. I feel like I'm doing for the bandwagon, but in the sense that I do respect that we have lost someone in the entertainment industry that was important to a generation of people. I pay my respects and I send my condolences. So that's what I'll do.
It's always very tough. Like for me, the biggest impact I've ever had in any athlete, that has to be Kobe. So I would also understand if someone who wasn't into basketball, this being a huge thing for them, because growing up, they love the Road Warriors. You know what I mean? Like it's very, very possible. So
they're like the equivalent in tag team history. They're the equivalent of like Hogan or Ric Flair. Like that's how important. They really, really like influenced a lot of wrestlers. And any time the word tag team wrestling comes up, they're usually mentioned, and or especially if you're talking about the best, they're always like mentioned. They're never forgotten.
Okay. I always think of the Hart Foundation when I think of the best tag teams.
Yeah, but
Hart Foundation,
they're very much a product of that.
Yeah. Okay. Could we say best tag teams right now? You just started an interesting thought. Who do you?
Is the Hart Foundation not up there? You guys are all making faces.
No. That's fine. That's fine. If that's what you think is the best tag team.
He's like, what's?
No, I love Bret and Ho and Hart. Matter of fact, I like the Hart Foundation.
The Hart Foundation tag team. Hart Foundation tag team is actually Anvil and Bret.
Yeah,
that's fine. They were a good tag team too.
I'll give them that, but I mean,
come on, man, that dude was solid. I love that dude with the beard. He was an angry.
There's so many.
To me, it goes LOD.
No, you have to pick one. You have to pick one.
He's just naming
one.
Oh, sorry. Okay, New Age Outlaws.
New Age Outlaws.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Yeah, 100%.
Just said the Outsiders.
Yeah, Outsiders. People would say Outsiders.
Okay. I actually like that.
The Outsiders is definitely a good one. I would say, if I had to say the best, I think it would be the Dudley Boys, in the sense that I know for them they've won like over 25 championships all over the world.
I would have to pick Christian and Edge, man. I love watching those two. Or
you're gonna say it,
the Hardy Boys.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
the Hardy Boys are like, I felt like everyone.
The Hardy Boys, just like
that's the whole thing, right? Like their TLC match, the three of those groups fighting these Hardy,
Christian and Edge and the Hardy. Yeah, man.
Okay,
some of the best fights.
But that is the tag team match of like history. It's one of them. It's in the top 3 for sure.
These guys did not care. Sorry, go ahead.
Lee J jumped in with Hart Foundation, LOD, and DX, and Devin jumped in with Harlem Heat, the Rockers, and Bushwhackers.
Okay, Bushwhackers, but I like the first two.
Bushwhackers were good before they made them do that dumb shit, but like when they were actually like really like hardcore, they were dope.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I gotta watch. Man, they were so acrobatic. I'm just thinking about that tag team matchup again, the triple tag team matchup.
The TLC one.
Yeah, crazy matchup.
Craziness.
The only crazier match I saw that was a TLC or that had a crazier spot was one time there was a match where the Hardys were in it, and they were doing a move against another tag team where they were setting up the ladder to be a teeter-totter, basically. And it was supposed to, like, one guy was supposed to hold the heads of the two opponents, and the ladder was supposed to go up and hit them, right? He held, one guy didn't move fast enough, and it literally busted his nose. Like, it was like a gunshot of blood all over the place immediately. Oh, and they took him out immediately. They had to finish the match 2-on-1.
Yeah, I always wonder how, like, they get over those real injuries in live situations, you know, like the Owen Hart death. Did you guys watch that?
Yeah, I watched
it.
That was insane.
Hands away, and they have to wait. And I mean, at the time, I'm pretty sure he probably died on impact in that regard. But like, I'm pretty sure they lied to the wrestlers and said, "Oh, he's going to the hospital to be checked out." You know, like,
yeah,
who knows?
They watched the documentary, the ringside one that was on. Sorry,
I said I wanted to watch that one. I didn't get a chance yet.
It was good.
Yeah, they explained that, like, they didn't tell people what was going on, and that they continued is one of the most disrespectful things I think I've ever. Can you imagine an athlete dies on the court in a basketball game, on the ice in a hockey game, on the field in a baseball game, and you move the body and continue the game? Are you crazy?
Yeah,
you
that's crazy.
Do that. Like, that's dark side of the ring. Dave
That's
Lynch
one.
just,
that's one I've been meaning to watch. It's just that I think it's going to hurt to watch.
It was good though.
I mean it. Like the first one was Chris Benoit. And, like, I'm so sour about.
Oh, I skipped that one.
The legacy was tarnished most likely because he had brain damage.
For sure.
Yeah,
and it was a brutal exit, man. Murder suicide. You can't come back from that.
When they analyze, I remember this back in the day when they analyzed his body. They're specifically the brain. They're like, this is the equivalent of like a 75-year-old man suffering dementia. So it's like he wasn't in his. Anyways, that's the whole thing. I don't want to.
He wasn't. This is all beginning CTE related stuff. Like 100%, he wasn't in his right mind. Sheesh.
All right, let's go into some more positive stuff.
Yeah,
back to Muppets. Fuck that shit.
I don't want to talk about.
We don't talk about freaking wrestling.
How is that where we went? We started talking about paying respects to a wrestler and ended with murder suicide. What is wrong with us?
Us? Don't say me. I had nothing to do with that. Us. I talked about my tag team. Not Jim.
In there, like, you know, using us as Muppets.
That's great. Yo, I haven't watched this yet, but Woke. Is it worth watching?
Yeah, so for View the Right Thing, I got two shows. I actually want to do the first Apple TV's Ted Lasso first before I talk about Woke. If you guys have not been watching Ted Lasso on Apple TV Plus, that's fair because I had no clue what this was. It was one of those under the radars, didn't hear about it, didn't know anything about it. It stars Jason Sudeikis. It's funny. I give it a thumbs up. I won't explain too much. Essentially, it's the story of a college football coach who gets brought over to the UK to be the coach for soccer, which in Europe, as you know, is called football. And
I got a few questions.
Yeah, him not knowing anything about the sport. His second in command is this dude named Beard, who seems to really be on the ball and knows everything about every sport. So they go over there, they train hard, and they become a solid team. And he and that's the story. It's a story of what's going on in his life. There's some hardship. There's character development with the players on the team. It's fun. It's actually a really, really fun watch. I'll let you hit me with the questions.
First question. Is it an American show set in Britain, or is it a British show with Americans in it?
It's one of those crossovers. So it's American. It's American cast, like a few American casts over in the UK. But the vibe feels like an NBC show set in the UK.
Okay.
Is it
Okay.
regular
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis humor like the whole way through, or like is it just like
No,
is it balanced? Like,
it's funny enough, Jason Sudeikis is playing possibly what I would call the straight man in the situation. Like, he's the most positive person you've ever met, to a point where it's actually kind of annoying sometimes. Like, I'm not.
Funny, he usually plays the straight man, but more of like a weirdly antagonistic, straight man. So in this one, he's the opposite.
No, yeah, he's a coach. He's straight laced, but at the end of the day, he's also the most positive guy. He wants everyone to love him. He works really hard to make everyone happy. You find out that his wife is divorced, or his wife is trying to end the marriage. So he was giving her space. That's why he went to the UK. That's why he took the job. And, the story continues from there. There's some weird parts where it feels like the show is trying to hint in one direction. Doesn't really go that way. All in all, interesting show. Thumbs up.
Was he as a coach approached to coach football in the UK and he didn't know what it was? Or did he know what it was and thought it would be transferable knowledge?
They don't really tackle that. The way the show goes about it is it's just I don't want to spoil too much, because I feel like if I explain how he got the job or why he's there, it'll spoil stuff. But if you guys are looking for,
maybe that means I gotta go watch it if I have these questions.
Yeah, guys, if you're looking for a quick show that's really old fashioned, at the end of the day, I don't feel like I'm learning any lessons except just watching someone kind of act a fool and live in the UK. This was the show. Sweet. And Juno Temple looks hot. Sorry, I wasn't gonna say it, but
Juno Temple.
Couldn't help yourself.
At first I was like, I shouldn't talk about the fact that Juno Temple looks gorgeous, but she does. She looks good. So,
what was the last thing I saw her in? I think it was like Maleficent.
I know.
Yeah, she's done stuff recently, but I haven't really watched her on anything. But
okay,
kudos to you. Because what is it? She's playing like in the UK. They have the soccer girlfriends and soccer wives that are like super popular. She's playing one of those. She's like a model who's like dating one of the soccer players, and
that's in every sport, bro.
Yeah. No, I know. In the UK, they become famous from it, though. Like,
in America too, man. There are TV shows and shit.
Yeah, but not to the same level. Like, for example,
maybe not. Victoria Beckham is an example.
Yeah, and like, what's her name? One of the girls from S Club was dating a soccer player, and like that blew up even crazier because she was a celebrity and he was a soccer. Like, I feel like in the UK, they take that soccer. Those hooligans take that shit serious. Like, when a girl becomes
100%.
wifey, they get all crazy about it.
Take that shit seriously.
Soccer is a religion, bruh.
Yeah, man. And don't call it soccer over there. That's the other thing.
Football.
Football. Sorry, I'm just making fun of them. Football is life. Sorry, that's one of the characters. One of the characters in his show. Only thing he says, "Football is life," and he just yells it and runs around. And you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" Anyways. Next show I want to talk about. This one I actually want to talk about. Woke on Hulu. This was a wild show, and Lamorne.
The cast is wild, bro.
Yeah, Lamorne Morris plays Keith Knight, who is a real comic strip creator, and the story of how he was, living his best life, just being a black guy, ignorant to the racism. It's there, but I don't really see it, so I don't pay much attention. I hear you guys talking about it. I understand, but I'm just gonna live my life. And then he gets like not pulled over by the cops, but he gets cornered by cops, thrown to the ground, cuffed, guns aimed at him. And then from that moment on, he's living his life woke. Like he can't deny his blackness or the things that go on around him, and it changes his whole perspective. And that's the show's really good. Blake Anderson from Workaholics is in it. T. Murph, I've never seen him in anything, but he's being amazing. Shashir Zameda plays this journalist who reaches out to Keith before his awakening, and they have like a kind of interesting interaction because his comic book strip, the way he was doing his comic book strip, he never thought of it as being political, but she was just like, "Oh, I always thought the I always thought it was political. Like I thought the reason you did this with this character and this with this character was a like commentary. And his whole thing is like, no, I wasn't commenting on anything. I just wanted to draw a comic strip about toast and butter, and that's my comic strip.
Not really realizing that underneath it all, he was doing
subconscious.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And then JB Smoove plays his marker. Like once he wakes up from the ignorance is bliss moments that he was going through, like everything around him starts to come to life, and his marker starts talking to him and starts telling him like. And his marker is JB Smoove. So you can imagine if you're all of a sudden woke and this marker is yelling you like, we're not drawing that jive shit anymore. Let's write some real shit. Let's Malcolm X this shit. Like just going crazy.
Okay. No wonder when I was looking at this cast list and who was in it, I was like, what the heck are these characters?
Yeah, man.
Nicole Byer plays 40-ounce bottle.
Yeah.
Cedric the Entertainer plays Trash Can.
Trash Can, yeah. Trash Can is funny. The episode with Trash Can, he's just like, Keith decides, I'm going to give you guys one scene. I'll set up one scene. Keith decides he wants to go for a haircut. So he's in his old neighborhood. He goes, like, if you guys are from Montreal, it's as if you were going to Crazy Cuts over in Uptown. So he goes over, but the area has been gentrified. So when he goes in, and he's just like, the door says Sam's. So he walks in and it's all these white guys, hipsters with long beards, wearing those like, you know how the hipsters dress with their like, what's the like nice leather aprons and their long hipster beards, and they have like polo shirts and everything. So he walks in and he looks around and they're all smiling and they all look at him and smile with the creepy get out smile. And he's just like, yo, where's Sam? And they're just like, oh, Sam left, but we decided to keep the name and the prestige. And then they turn to the wall and it's like all these black heroes are on the wall, Muhammad Ali poster, all this stuff. But it's just a bunch of white guys with like ponytails and beards cutting another white guy's hair. And one guy's like sweeping with leather aprons that say Sam's on them. So he goes outside and the Trash Can, Cedric the Entertainer as the Trash Can starts talking to him and telling him like, this is some bullshit, and starts like freaking out and tells him, you know what to do. And he's like, I know what to do. And he picks up the trash can and he whips it at the window and it just bounces and falls over. And then he looks around and he runs away. And one guy comes out and goes, what the hell? And looks down the street and you just see Keith turn the corner and that's the scene. And it was great. That's
good. Like, that sounds like a Lamar Morris role.
Yes, he does such a, like when I saw him in Bloodshot, I had to say I was a little disappointed. Like he does an amazing job, but the weird British.
I was mad at that accent.
Yeah, I was like, this is weird.
I was mad at that whole movie. Period. It was so bad.
That's a whole. Yeah, no, that's a whole other conversation. But Lamorne, like he's a good actor. He was good on New Girl. Everything I've seen him in, he's been solid. That movie he did with Nassim Pedra that was on Netflix that I watched a couple months back. Not a great movie, but he's good in it. Like he's always solid, and that's one of the things I liked about it. So,
Also, there's someone on this show called Alvina August. I feel like there's some like August Alsina Alvina joke here somewhere that no one took advantage of, but that's legit her name. That's crazy.
Alvina, that's true. I'm trying to recognize the character. Is she the girlfriend? I think
yeah.
Oh, also the girl from iZombie. Is his girlfriend later. I mean, spoiler alert, he breaks up with his girlfriend and then starts dating my zombie.
Rose McIver.
Yeah. And she
iZombie wasn't bad.
It wasn't too bad. Yeah. And she has a real accent, so it's like this kind of cute, blonde, Aussie, weird, artsy girl. And all of a sudden he's woke. There's a lot of interactions going on here, man. Like it's a fun show.
I like it. I want to see that too.
Yeah, I want to watch.
Yeah, you should, honestly. 8 episodes. It's a quick watch. I watched it in, it's 20-minute, 25-minute episodes. You watch it like it's a movie, real quick. Like, oh, well, I watched it at 1.5. But I slowed down for the last 2 episodes because I actually liked it. So if anything, that helps you know I liked it.
That actually gives it a bit of clout that you slowed it to normal.
Yo, so I started watching Lovecraft Country. I only watched like the first 20, 25 minutes. And I remember just being like, I am not in the right mindset to watch this right now. I need things to quiet down a bit. There was a lot going on in the back. I needed to like focus. I realized.
You got to tell me, where were you? What time was it? And yeah, just tell me, what time was it at night?
It was about 8 p.m. I was in my living room, but there was like people in my house, and it just was. I realized what was happening in terms of like immediately they dove right into the plight of Black people in that era, like almost immediately. The scene where they're on the bus. I'm not going to talk about the rest of it, but they're on the bus. It's the 1960s, 50s. I don't know. Anyway, and they're at the, he's talking to this lady, and then the camera zooms out, and you realize, oh crap, they're at the back of the bus. It literally says like Negroes in the back of the bus. Yeah. And then the bus breaks down. Another mode of transportation comes along. This weird milk truck, for example.
Yeah.
But it only takes the white people, and it's like, wow, like immediately you're in that world.
Rude. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty crazy.
I was gonna say
I didn't get to the freaky stuff yet.
You can't watch this show after 10 p.m.
Yeah, no, fact.
Oh, sorry, no, you can because you're haunted.
I love it. Yes,
I don't.
Us normals can't do that, especially if you're by yourself. I can watch it with Danielle watching as well, but she usually falls asleep, so on and so forth. The show is basically everything they say it is. It's super something. Okay, why, Brian? You'll see what I'm talking about. Something about Black people and horror, and because in other movies we tend to die first, this shit is trying to prove itself and give us like the hardcore of the hardcore.
Yeah, it gives us like the darkest of dark with our situation. Right? You're like watching it, and you're like, yo, I mean, I never want to go back to the parts where we die first, but I don't like connecting, like watching something and feeling like I connect with the characters, and then the dark shit happens to the characters. Because then I'm like,
time out. Let's rewind a little bit with this darkest of the dark. Oh, hold on. Does the racial this is overtone. Racial overtone, is it throughout the show?
Entire show.
Sure. It has to be. It's set in the 50s. It's mad racist.
Okay, but then I want to know the scary stuff that happens. Are they race related as well?
Because it's like it's scary, but it's not modern scary. It's like old ass scary because it's from then. So it's like more hardcore scary. Like we're talking. Okay, if Indiana Jones is going through a cave and like there might be some rocks on fall on him, these kings are going through a cave where there's water to your waist and like all sorts of booby traps. I'm talking. Was just the most stressful shit you will have to go through on top of being Black in Jim Crow America.
Oh wait, is this fantasy?
Lovecraft is a fantasy series. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it's supernatural.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Supernatural stuff in the first episode?
Not yet.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
I just realized what was going. Like I had to focus more on what.
I said Skinny's reaction to your statement was like, you don't even know. You don't even know what's going on.
No, for sure. I know I don't know. I think I didn't stop because of the scary stuff. I want the scary stuff. What I stopped was like I needed to understand, like really watch what was happening just so I can like be in the world more. I thought it was something they could put out in the background pretty much.
You gotta watch it with wifey so that you could both get kind of like angry at the racial tension, and then fantasy will just come and go back right in your face. And like smack you, and you're just like, oh right, horror too. On top of this.
Yeah, this true. That's so true. There's like scenes where you're like, I hate this racism, and then something happens like, good God, a monster. You're like, dude, racism out the window.
Sounds like the real world to me, huh?
So you haven't seen episode 5, so without giving away too much, like episode 1 is like, oh, this is gonna be some dope stuff. Episode 2 is like, all right, yeah. 3 is nuts, and then 5, I can't remember 4, but 4 is pretty fucked up too, right? But then 5 is just like, here's everything.
Is 5 the skin?
What?
Is 5 the skin? Like 5 the skin. Okay, cool.
So like 5 is like, here's everything you'd want in your wildest dreams, right? but then we're just gonna show you the most nastiest way for a trans. Like, I can't imagine anything more
The
gross.
skin. Is it like puzzles made out of skin?
Nah, it's like you.
Yeah.
It's like how
that's what it was, because it would be better if it wasn't as scary.
Okay, picture a human being in a cocoon, but the cocoon being the skin and look of another human, and you breaking out of it.
Oh God!
Nice. That sounds like Aliens.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
but it
But
wasn't.
It's 1955, so it's not sophisticated and it's nasty.
Yo, dude.
Wait, hold on. What does sophistication?
Okay,
What does
I
sophistication have to do with level?
know what he means. I know what he means.
Right, go.
Okay, picture this, guys. You know that new thing where people make things out of cake? Like they make a shoe and it's cake. They make a this and it's cake.
That is pretty creepy.
So picture a human made of cake that's melting off, and inside of the cake is another human. Do you see how disgusting that sounds?
Oh wait,
picture a cake falling apart and melting and dissolving, and clumps of it falling off, and then then
it's like gruesome and gory and looking.
Yeah, like it's cherry.
Nice.
It's cherry cake with vanilla icing, my friend, and it's falling off in clumps. And then picture the person inside the cake peeling the cake off of their body and ripping through the cake.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's like that
a nightmare. It's
anime,
like
for the anime series. There's like there's a robot that does that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Listen.
This isn't a robot inside. It's another damn human being, man.
Yeah, this only makes me want to watch it more because I'm curious as to how they pull this off.
It was interest immediately.
In terms of sophistication, I'm just saying, like, okay, whereas today, or if it was today, you'd have a like clever cutaway, or they would show you like the arm bust out or like a leg. Whereas this show, because it's again 1950, the whole face is just gonna be like, like just right there, zoomed in, high HD. Like
I don't know how that's scary, but I'm gonna watch it. I kind of.
It's gruesome.
It's gruesome. Okay, all right, that's cool.
The show is set in the 1950s, but it's also taped as if it's from the 1950s. Is that what?
No. It's
Okay.
4K. It's just it's a period piece. It's set in the 50s.
I think I understand what you were trying to get across. The aesthetics is probably makes it feel more real than something. Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. In some ways, I get what
he's doing magic and doing shit like that, but what it would look like because it's the 50s.
That's weird.
And then like puzzles, like booby traps, like nah, you gotta put your whole arm in to get into this door. No, like this whole show is crazy.
Some like National Treasure style shit where it's just like only the son of this person can open the secret door, and this motherfucker's like sticks his arm in, and you see blood everywhere, and you're like, "What's happening?" Yeah.
But whereas National Treasures won't show you the amount of bodies that died on the way there, this show will.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know.
Sorry, I'll repeat it.
National
Treasure. Yeah. Go on. National Treasure won't show you the amount of bodies that failed on the way there, where this show just needs to.
Oh, okay.
It needs to. I
like that though. I like shows that take sort of the audience on the ride like that though.
Fucking ride, all right.
I think Brian is a little delayed, isn't he?
Am I?
Oh, it was before. I don't know if it was just me. Okay, sorry. I thought you were saying something. Yeah.
Really good episode, great show. Everybody should watch this show. All the black people live. Okay, so far, all the black people live so far. It's dope. I like it. I'm with it.
That would be kind of fucked up if the show was sort of about black people and then he's killing them off one by one. That's great. Who's the behind the show? Is it Jordan Peele?
Yeah, he has something to do. He's producing or something.
Whoa! Speaking of which, kind of reminds me of the one with what's her name, Janelle Monáe, that apparently all of a sudden came out of nowhere. Yeah,
Antebellum.
Have you seen that?
Yeah,
read the wiki.
It seems like a A24 attempt.
Yeah. I want to see it, but a lot of people are saying they're tired of seeing slave stories, and I'm like, oh man, it's a slave story. So I don't know. I'm gonna.
That's true, but with a twist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
That's how they sold it. I bet you that's how they sold it.
Yeah, of course.
What twist?
Who wants a slave story with a twist? Like, make a slave over. I don't know. You know.
Oh man, it's true. I think Django should have been the last slave movie.
Right?
Period. I think he did it all. He did what he did what was necessary, and that's how everything should have ended.
Yeah.
You know what slave movie I want to see that I think would probably piss people off, but I want to see the slave movie where the slaves took over the plantation, kidnapped the family, left the one dude to speak on behalf of the family, to interact with white people, so that no one realizes the plantation's been taken. They're still slaves running the plantation, but they're not, there's no taskmasters in the field. There's no one bossing them around. They're running their own shit. And the story of like them persevering, and then ultimately at the end, the war that happens. But until that point, we get moments of mild pleasure seeing these people trick the man for months, years. I don't know.
I could see that happening, and then you have some dude who like keeps coming by the house and suspects something, and then he like raps on him. And then
you know who that dude would be? It would be Christoph Waltz from Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
It would be that character. That's who.
But that's what I'm saying. Like every time, like, and then and like they start buying.
Guys, we're writing the movie for them. Let's meet after this and write this script. That's actually a really great idea.
Not a bad idea.
Call that shit plantation.
Hey, I think you should just stop potting now, Brian. Go inside, start writing. That's it.
I'm just gonna write down the word here so we don't forget. Great.
Oh, David Lynch. The guy who snitches on the plantation, Kevin Costner.
Is he still? Kevin Costner's still alive. I'm not making a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Not making a joke. I actually was curious for a second. Yeah, this is the second time Dances with Wolves has come up. I don't know when someone used this reference recently. I forget why, but Dave just said Dances with Wolves, and it just triggered the fact that someone just literally 2 days ago said the same thing. I forget why now, and what I just said makes no sense because I don't remember.
Great
Dude,
segue.
great segue, Toby. There we go. Dave.
Skinny has the real Paris Hilton. YouTube original. Is that what it is?
I like it so far. It's all right.
Okay. Okay, cool. I was thinking of checking it.
Check it out.
I ended up checking out What the List from Watch Mojo. It was the Marvel Trivia edition. There was two cool competitors. This guy Sam seemed to know his shit, and then like there was this other really nerdy guy who really talked a big game and couldn't even remember who Thor was. Oh, hey, Brian.
I can remember who Thor is. I just didn't think of him at the moment.
Yeah. What was the actual question again?
Oh, it was the flat lightning round. I just had to name the top 10 Marvel characters. The top 10
according
Marvel
to a certain specific list.
Yeah, from 2013.
Okay, so I think that's what tripped you up.
Yeah,
you started going in your mind through your Rolodex of comic book knowledge a little too much instead of just spitting all the names you know.
I know, because I started naming 2013 characters from comic books that I thought were popping and not necessarily movie based, or in the case of The Thing, who never, no offense to the Ben Grimm fans of the world, not be on any top 10 list anywhere over anyone in the X-verse. Every Dazzler should be on the list before The Thing. I said what I said.
When was the second Fantastic Four movie?
I don't remember.
The Fantastic Four movie there were several out because you have to think the hint that what's the hostess name again? I forget her name again.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
Becca. She was telling you 2013 to kind of be like, yeah, the movies and the TV shows that came out at the time, right? So the only thing I could imagine is that people really like to make fun of the Thing because at that point the only thing that the Thing was a joke, to be quite honest.
Yeah, dude. Whoever made the list, like again, no shame or hate on the person who made the list. I'm sure that at the time they felt Ben Grimm was an important character. I don't know if he had a story. I know that Ben Grimm. See, this is the thing. I'm a comic book nerd. I know Ben Grimm. I know what Ben Grimm was up to in the comic books when the Fantastic Four disappeared, and Reed and Sue and Valerie and Franklin all go, and Ben and Johnny are stuck just living their lives, and Ben is like kind of depressed. Johnny is like living with the Inhumans. He's supposed to be the like liaison with the Inhumans. And I read all the comics about what was going on, but Ben Grimm is not more interesting than anyone else for the era of that time.
He's never been on any list I've ever seen ever.
Yeah, like
so it doesn't even matter any history. Like we all know. I didn't even think this was on the casuals list.
Yeah,
right. There's
Ben
no
Grimm
way.
But even just this, you're gonna put Ben Grimm over Reed Richards. If you're gonna go
Johnny Storm,
over Reed Richards, Johnny Storm, or Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, like no, again, Ben Grimm is the last on the list of 4, and he somehow made it to the top 10 list amongst the essential gods of Marvel. What are you talking about? But anyways,
so
I digress.
It is weird. I genuinely want to see this list and what it was based off of. But that aside, I think again what tripped you up was like you felt it was a very specific question and you went through your, I guess, comic book knowledge versus like mainstream knowledge of just characters at the time, because the characters he was naming were like Punisher and Daredevil. I would have said that, right?
Those were all.
But you said it at the end.
You missed the TV verse. That's basically what you missed when you were naming things.
Yeah.
But
like my category at the end, when it was just like, what category is this? Again, for anyone who's watching this, if you guys want to go watch it, I was on an episode of What the List. Watch Mojo does this competition, What the List, where the whole premise is there's 2 columns. Each column is a list from top 10. They ask you questions. You fill out the list based on the answers. And once you figure out what the list is at the end, you get a chance to say what the list is. And then you get a lightning round at the end. Whoever wins the lightning round wins the game. That's the one thing that sucks too, because I could have done really well if I got points for my lightning round, right? But I didn't get points for it. I only got because I lost. Like that's it.
It's such a weird format.
Yeah. Hey, man. I mean, I was told from the get-go that's what it was, and that's fair. If that's the game, that's the game. I'm not going to be mad at them for it.
No, but it looked like it was a fun game. But I was wondering, like, because I've not been on, obviously I don't think any of us have really been on like a game show, let's say. It's not necessarily a game show, but being put on the spot like that, were you feeling like when you were, because I imagine you may have rewatched it after or thought about the questions afterwards, were you thinking there like, man, if I was at home, like it's like if I'm at home screaming at the TV for Family Feud, but me being on the Family Feud, I might not be able to get any of the answers. Did you feel anything like that?
Pressure? I think that's a good question. I don't think I felt the pressure because thankfully there's no one watching us. There's just the 3 of us talking on like in a chat, and then we do the questions. So I don't feel that and there's no time limit either, right? That's the other thing. Like they edited it down a lot because I'm such a geek that there were times where I'd go into long, detailed.
I was waiting for that.
Like there's one point where there's like one point that they edited down super short because I talked for like 5 minutes about the 616 versus 1610 universe and like all the characters, and I was just like, well, Quicksilver and I'm like, and then I realized like, wait, they can't use any of this, and then I watched the episode and it's just like Wanda. Like that's the only way. Like there was nothing else added. It was just like Wanda. Like that's it. And I was like, oh, okay. So
by the way, you getting Amadeus show was great. I would have not gone that way.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. That one was difficult because the whole thing was I know Amadeus Cho as a character. I couldn't remember in the moment. And then it was funny that I started thinking of the Sherlock Holmes thing, and that led me to think about classical music, and that led me to think about Amadeus. And then I was just like, oh, Amadeus Cho. Like, it was just this weird fucking thread through my mind, and I was like, whatever.
It was pretty cool. I actually knew Amadeus Cho, but then they said he was also Iron Man, and who else was he?
He has been Hercules. Not
Iron
Hercules.
Spider,
he has,
sorry.
Yeah, he has been the Hulk. Sorry, I know he's been
so
the
Hulk. I knew, but then Iron Spider, I was like, I don't remember this at all.
I don't remember Iron Spider stuff, but I did know he was like
Ultimate Spider-Man. He was Iron Spider for some stupid reason.
Okay, so that was not in the comic books. I don't remember that from the comic books because I mean, I didn't remember Amadeus Cho right off the bat, and it did throw me off when they said Iron Spider, because I was just like, I haven't read that issue. Because that's the thing. A lot of the questions, and Dave, this is fair to the point, a lot of the questions had one specific thing in the question that always threw me off. Yeah. Sorry, Skinny, you're about to correct me?
No, we're right. It was never in the comics. That shit was only from Ultimate Spider-Man.
Thank you.
So you have the other guy. So I don't know how. It's I don't want to. It's bad to say. I was gonna say he's one of the comic book. Sorry, not the comic, but like the. I guess he calls himself a comic book geek. What does he call himself?
Oh, okay. A lot of people said. A lot of people made. A lot of people made the comment that like Sam is a modern fan.
Yes.
And like and you know what? We all used to think that way. Mm-hmm. And I jumped in the comments and defended him because I said, listen. You can't gatekeep your whole life. We can't tell people for 20 years that these characters are the most interesting thing, and then when they make movies and these people don't have the time to go back and read the catalog of 130 issues of a comic, so they only know the character from these 15-ish episodes of a cartoon, I can't be mad at them. That's not fair. I'm not going to tell them to go. Sure, they could read the wiki, but it's not the same thing. So no. I jumped in and
it is weird,
yeah, because like, you know, it's the same way with the Bayverse fans for Transformers. That's the example I always give. That's the example Protoman always gives. Shout outs to Protoman. Transformers Slag, check it out. But whenever him and I have talked about this stuff, he's mentioned the fact that like I might not love the Bayverse movies, but the Bayverse movies are the reason Transformers got a huge kick in the ass. You have a cartoon on Netflix. You have action figures selling. I'm able to get all these new amazing Transformers behind me because those movies made Transformers popular again. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the comic books. You know, like before Iron Man in 2008, what were we reading in comic books? What were we like? We read Civil War and stuff like that, but were we super interested? Was the average person super interested?
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I don't remember. 2008. Yeah, no.
I was reading DC at the time in 2008 because I remember the Justice Society, the Crime Syndicate of America. Funny because we just talked about Crime Syndicate of America recently on, was it this show or That's Canon? Anyways.
It was that.
Yeah, Crime Syndicate of America. That's one of the first issues that got me back into comic books. 2007. It was it was 2-issue reintroduction of the Crime Syndicate of America, and the covers was one cover was the Justice League, the other cover was Crime Syndicate, and when you put them together it made one big cover. And that was the first comic book I bought and I started reading regularly because of that run. And that's 2007. And then I started getting into Marvel titles and then World War Hulk and all that stuff. And
oh, you know what? I remember now. I was just getting into graphic novels more at that time. Watchmen was what I was reading at that time.
Oh, nice. Yeah, but I mean,
and then I went to V for Vendetta, and I started reading like all the classic sort of graphic novels. Yeah, so like comic books, I was kind of off of at that time a little bit more. The movies definitely re-sparked my interest.
Even then, though, if someone was to do trivia for comic book based movies,
right?
I can't gatekeep and tell people, whoa, you like V for Vendetta but never read the comic book? It's just like
exactly. But you know what sucks about these kinds of questions now is that for us who you have such extensive knowledge, you have to sort of like
put it down.
Yeah. I was definitely in my head. I was in my head. Yeah. There's a lot of questions there where, like, for example, the question where the answer was Hank McCoy.
What the fuck was that?
He shares the name with a Disney prince.
Yeah. No. I mean, there's a lot of people who said supposedly they would have gotten Beast right away.
No fucking way. I actually was thinking Eric because there's a Prince Eric. And I was thinking Eric Landshire. I was thinking Magneto.
Yeah. So I was thinking Eric at first. And then I said Bobby Drake because in my head I was like, there has to be a Prince Robert. That's such a standard thing.
When you said Bobby Drake, though, I was like,
yeah, no. I said that knowing 100%. I was like, that's the
exact same noise, right?
The only thing that would have helped you is if you had at that point guessed the list and knew it was the smartest people, you could have been like,
which one's missing?
You're my boy, but
yeah.
Nah, man.
That's good. No, I don't think anyone in the comments who said that shit, they're capping, bro. That's the right use of the word capping right there. They're straight up capping. Because there's no way I would have gone, Prince Beast and Hank McCoy Beast. Share the same name. Shut up.
He's not even a prince at that point in the movie because he's the Beast. So it's like it doesn't. It was a trick question. It was worded though. It's good.
I was screaming Eric. I'm like, Prince Eric.
Yeah.
Eric, damn it, Brian, say Eric.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Nah, that was fun, man. That was cool.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Shout outs to the people at Watch Mojo. I really appreciate Rebecca shouting me out and asking me if I'd be down to do it. I mean, I love trivia. I'm not good at it, but I like to play because it's fun. This was the second time I've been on a game show. Shout outs to Battle of the Wits with Elspeth she has her channel. You guys can follow her. Yeah. So that one I was actually I think I was more scared for that one than this one because that one is with comedians and I was the only one that's not a comedian. Like they're all they all do stand up or some comedic thing and I was just like, I'm a podcast host. I'm not a
the older guy you were on with has a dry kind of humor.
Yeah, he was good though. That guy's funny. I like that guy.
Yeah.
I really like that guy. But that was a fun episode. And then this one I got to, I missed Lunella. I knew.
Yeah,
that was tough. That one took a while to come to me. I didn't even think. I was like, I saw the image in my head, but I couldn't put a name to it.
But that's it. Yeah. After that, I'm never gonna forget Lunella Lafayette, Moon Girl, and after the Batman trivia at the time, where they had 44 questions and I got 43 or 44, and the one I got wrong was when is Batman's birthday, and I was like, I don't know. And there's like February 19th. And I was like, I'll never forget.
Really?
Yeah.
I will never forget Batman's birthday now because I was so mad.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Is Batman a Capricorn or Aquarius?
Capricorn?
Oh, sorry. We had this conversation. It's technically Bruce's birthday.
That's true.
Sorry.
That's true. That's
it's
true.
Bruce Wayne's birthday, not Batman.
Am I the same damn sign as Batman, bro? Or Bruce Wayne? Hold on.
Yeah, Feb 19th.
Batman?
Oh, damn. Aquarius. All right. I'm Batman.
I was about to say, even so, bro, like, biggest reach. Like,
hey.
What are you reaching for?
How dare you? How dare you shatter my dreams like this? Jesus. You know what? He's like right on the end of Aquarius, though. February 19th is literally like the end.
I don't know if you guys saw Lego October 21st. They're releasing not just so I have the Batmobile here. October 21st, the Bat plane is being released.
In that size?
Yeah, 22 inches across by 20 inches long by 4 inches thick. Like,
why is there a Bat plane? Since when?
1989 Bat plane. Remember the one that you flies into the moon? Say what?
No, they've always been a Bat plane. Then they renamed it Bat Wing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Isn't it different from Batwing though in terms of purpose? Like how big was the Batplane originally?
The Batplane in the movie, the 1989 movie, it's the big plane. It's like the one that he uses when he flies. Yeah, that one that he flies over the moon and it does the logo on the moon and then he dips and everyone was just like, oh shit, like that blew my mind when I was a kid. I had a Batman toy. Like that was the only thing. I never got the Batmobile, but I got a Bat plane as a water gun. So it had a handle, and I used to fly that shit around. And then I used to. Yeah, you could spray exactly. You had it too, Dave?
Did you have the one that was also one that could clamp? There was one that could clamp.
Mine was like, it was a water gun, and it was a water gun shaped like the bat plane, and the front where the bat ears were is where it sprayed the water. And I used to fly that over lamps at my house and put the Batman logo on the wall and like tell my parents like, look, and then just dip it out and be like, yeah. Like a fucking weirdo. But I was so happy. So.
I barely remember the bat plane. Interesting.
It's going to be expensive though, because this one was $3 something. So I'm expecting this one to be about the same. Hopefully not.
Speaking of showing our parents things, I remember once I was like 4 years old and obsessed with MC Hammer and Bobby Brown. Yeah. And Hammer came out with Let's Get It Started, right? So there's one point where I don't know why, but like he just does this like weird like kind of Running Man electric slide thing, and then like the person jumps back, except for me being 4 and nimble, instead of jumping back, I do a full-on backflip.
Oh snap!
And, yeah, but the thing is, since then I've never been able to do it again. It's just like your mind and like memory. So I just did like backflip and like landed it. My mom was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "I don't know how I did that either." And then I never been able to do it again.
Tries to repeat it immediately, hurts himself. They have to go to the hospital.
Yeah, I missed that. I want to be able to do that again. Never tried. I mean, I've never been able to do it again. I tried, hurt myself.
I never cried.
That's crazy. That's dope though. Like, man, back in the day. Skinny, do you grow up in Uptown? Yeah, you grew up in Uptown a bit, right?
DG.
Okay.
Same.
If you're an Uptown kid, you might know Garfield. But when I was a kid, Garfield was that cool dude. Him and his brothers. But Garfield was this dude that was like this sick dancer. And I remember when we used to be at Marcus Garvey Day Camp, this motherfucker used to do backflips off the stage. Like go stage, backflip, land on the ground. And everyone used to lose their mind. He used to do that shit all the time. So shout out to Garfield. I don't know where that kid is right now. But that was dope. Back in the day, backflips. Yo, man, I always wanted to do a backflip. That shit's dope. Even if you do it once in your life, Skinny, that's better than me, homie. So kudos.
I did it onto a bed. Does that count? I never. I never accidentally did a backflip and landed it fully. Like...
Skinny accidentally did one of the coolest, hardest moves to do. I think he wins.
I think it was an old NDG apartment, so like. Picture like my office right now. I don't have much standing room, and like doing a backflip in here and landing.
You know what's funny is, as a kid, you're more fearless, right, with a lot of things. Yeah. So it's like you just do something. You're like, it's either of interest to you and you keep doing it, or you did it and you just kind of like wave it off like nothing.
I wasn't trying to do the flip.
Well, maybe that was your calling. You should have been in gymnastics or something, and you didn't know. You know,
it's wild that you accidentally did a backflip.
Like, if my mom's watching, she probably does remember that, and she like freaked out for a second. And was like, I don't know.
And both parents backed out the room, like, let's not talk about this again.
Should we get an exorcist? Wait, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Start talking in tongues. Oh shit, the holy water cannot come fast enough.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
Holy water cannot come fast enough.
Guys, I think we know what time it is. It's about that time. Geek news and rumors. We got a lot of them, man. We got a lot of them today. I feel like this first one is not shocking, but is ridiculous that because they're pushing everything back. But Black Widow has been delayed to 2021, the May 7th. It's essentially got pushed back a full year now.
Yeah, they saw what happened to Tenet.
Yeah. Everyone's looking what happened to Tenet.
Yep. Look at what happened to Tenet. Look what happened to Tenet. Look at what happened to Tenet.
But again, though, I'll say this for Tenet. A movie that is at needs about 500 million to break even if all the numbers are correct that people have been throwing around, where they're taking 63% of the box office. The movie made 200 million. It cost 225 to make. The rumor is it used another 100 million in advertising. So people are saying for it to break even, they have to sell I did the math. $476 million would get them their 325 back, and would get the movie theaters their share.
Yeah, I think their biggest problem is all the money that was spent all the money that was spent at the beginning on the hype. If they had foreseen coronavirus, they probably wouldn't have spent it. You spent all that money on hype for your hype to get shut down.
Yeah.
They spent $100 million in advertising.
Yeah, man, that sucks.
That's the estimated. That's the estimated number.
That's a way too large of a number.
No, it's not. Not for a movie of this caliber.
No, the global marketing. Nah, man. They spend that on. It's pretty. Star Wars, in a day. Like they throw money like that for marketing. Think about it, Dave. Every deal they make is money spent. Every McDonald's or fast food chain deal that they sign, all of it is cross promotion and deals. So some of it might not be $100 million cash in a briefcase, but some of it is in overall $100 million worth of exposure, product placement. What's the car they're always in Tenet? That whatever car they're in, that's a product placement. There's probably a deal. Whatever laptop that the dude is using, that's probably a deal.
The suits.
So everything.
You gotta spend money to lose money.
What's the suit that they mentioned in the movie Brooks Brothers?
Yes, that ain't
product
cheap.
Placement. They could have put any name there. That's product placement.
Yeah, it's funny they laugh, but Brooks Brothers is like, for me, I was like, oh, that's an expensive brand, and to them, it's like, nah, it's not an expensive brand. You gotta dress a little bit more expensive.
Italian tailored suits made by my boy Giuseppe over here.
Yeah, there's levels to this, I guess.
Yeah. What else do we got? She-Hulk Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black has landed the title role in the new She-Hulk series. I'm upset, but I'll let you guys go first.
Why are you upset?
I love her as an actress, though. I think she's super talented.
Okay, let's get into this conversation. No. I gotta watch Orphan Black because every last one of you out there has been telling me since this was announced, forget the size, forget the build. She won't look the role, but she will bring the fire. And I keep hearing everybody say that, and I gotta watch Orphan Black. I say this having never watched her. I acknowledge that. But I mean, one of the things about Jessica, it's Jennifer Walters. Sorry. Jennifer, yeah. One of the things about her is she was already 5'10" from jump. When she's She-Hulk, she's 6'7".
Yeah, yes, that's fine. That's CGI. Forget the She-Hulk part. That's CGI. Let's talk about the Jennifer Walters part.
There's a reason that the character is drawn as 5'10". She had a presence. There's supposed to be a presence there, and yes, maybe this actress is good enough to bring that presence out in the acting. And I'm probably going to be wrong again. I'm saying this up front, much like Gal Gadot, who I was 100% wrong about. I'm saying
that Wonder Woman.
Listen, I said Gal Gadot was too slim to play Wonder Woman, and I was wrong.
I said the same thing too. I said the same thing, and I didn't think she could act very well.
I mean,
prove me wrong.
Tatiana. Right? That's what you guys are all saying?
Incredible. She plays like 50 different characters on this show.
Yeah, that's what everyone keeps telling me. They're just like, dude,
insane that you can keep those in order and hit them out the park every time.
And the energy character, like she can embody a
different person.
Shit,
like,
man. Okay,
believably so. Now, to me,
my partner
the sort of duality of this that I see with the Hugh Jackman situation in Wolverine is that Wolverine is supposed to be short, Hugh Jackman's tall, but he's a great actor. So this is the same thing, just a flipped sort of height scenario.
Yeah, but CGI people, like we could just make her tall. We could just make her tall.
She's 5'3".
You don't need to. Perspective, camera.
5'10". Yeah, you can make her. I mean, you could. You know what? Rewind. Tom Cruise can play Jack Reacher. I need to shut my mouth because this woman is probably going to kill it in her all of her 5'10" stature on screen. I'm wrong. At the end of the day, I shouldn't say anything.
Listen, the MCU. What's that?
I said that sounded like more rude, as if you were trying to throw her under the bus sarcastically.
No, not at all. I'm not. Sorry if that's how that sounded. I'm not trying to throw her under the bus. I wish her luck. I obviously want, because this is going to be, again, this is going to be one of those MCU. This is a Marvel Studios television series. It's not the Netflix. These guys are actually giving us, supposedly, it's in the universe. So I want that. Oh, I didn't put it down, but did you guys all see the WandaVision trailer?
Yep.
Look cool.
Yeah, that looks dope. That looks fucking amazing.
That is definitely like House of M like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the build up for it, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
She's going to come back. That show will end when they expect her to come back into the movieverse, because the movieverse will be House of M. Like that show will last.
That's exactly what I'm expecting. That's why I'm expecting it. When they said it's tied in with Doctor Strange, I was like, oh, then this is the whole basis for the whole next phase.
Yeah.
Whoa, you
it's
guys
just
think
this altered reality? Yeah, man, Wanda's world, bro.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, that's not what I
thought. Just like eventually, I think they're going to do Secret War.
Secret Wars is going to be like not
like.
Does that involve Kang in any way?
Wait,
you guys
which
are forgetting.
Secret Wars? They've done 2 Secret Wars. They did the Secret War where they go after Doom in Latvia, and
not Battle Planet one.
No. There's a Secret War. There's the original Secret War. Then there's another Secret War where Nick Fury gets a covert team, and the covert team is made of Daredevil, Luke Cage, Elektra, Black Widow, Captain America, I think, and Spider-Man, and they all have like
symbiote Battle Planet Beyonder one.
Yeah,
that's what you guys. They're not doing that. No way.
That's the older one, no?
Yeah,
the one Brian is saying is much more recent.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Art by Gabrielle Delotto. If you guys are looking for a title to read, that is amazing.
Wait, so you guys are thinking they're gonna do the old? Nah, come on.
Russo said they would come back and do Secret Wars, right? They said they would really want to come back and do Secret Wars. I don't think they're doing Battle Planets with all the incursions and shit, because that's super messy. And they might do Brian's, but I really see them trying to stretch and doing the older one and just kind of like bringing in different heroes that way too.
Sorry,
I don't.
The one I'm talking about is called Secret War, not Secret Wars. Apologies. That's forget. Oh, Wolverine. That's who was on the team. Yeah, man, that was a great title. I fucking love that one.
Yeah. Woo. Kang was in Secret Wars.
Right. I laugh at the next headline.
What do we got?
Because it just proves his fate in the next movie.
Oh, hit us. What is it, Dave?
So John, I was like trying to make that a segue. John Cena's getting to make a Peacemaker series, and I read the synopsis or what they expected. It's supposed to be the origin story of Peacemaker, which just confirms that Peacemaker is going to die in like the first 20 minutes of James Gunn's film. He's going to die in the first 20 minutes.
Why does this confirm that? If anything, this tells me.
No,
you really feel he's going to die because of the prequels?
Interesting. Because, hey, man, we just spoke to Ari. Remember when Ari was on the show? Yeah. They don't like to kill off characters that they're going to try and give shine to. And it's the same way we talk about Star Wars. Remember, everyone was just like, I don't need to see Solo. I know how this motherfucker dies.
Because I think they're going to make Peacemaker steal, like, while he's on screen. I think they're going to really sell it hard that this is like the anti-Captain America. And if you're the anti-Captain America, you're going to die quick because you're just going to be so reckless. But like, how did the guy get to this point?
I'm gonna say this is the opposite of what I would think, especially for a team like the Suicide Squad. They want someone who would kill for peace at any cost. Whether he's reckless or not, this seems to me like a character, and it seems like he's set up for a lot of jokes. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like John Cena's character is going to have this dark humor to him.
Yes.
Oh,
they're trying to make him lovable enough to have a show. Like, this is a premature announcement for a character you're going to kill off, is what I'm trying to say, too.
I thought, Dave, I'll give you this, Dave. When I initially saw it, I thought, oh, well, that's stupid. Obviously, the character's not going to die if they're giving him a show. But then I thought for a second, what if he does die? Then when you're watching the show, it's the insane story of how he got to that. Like, you make it a limited series run. There's not another season coming. It's 8 episodes. This is how you get to the movie. Prequel to the movie. We're all going to watch it.
Do they have that kind of discipline, though?
Yes, exactly. Again.
Sorry, on.
No, man. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, or you make a origin story and you could do whatever you want. And then the end of the show is just simply him getting recruited. And then you know what happens. So you don't, it's a show where you can end it whenever, And when people are like, "Oh, I wonder what happens next," or "Why didn't they tell us what happens in X amount of time?" You know what happens. He dies in suicide.
You have to go back pretty far though. Like you can't.
Well, I mean, if he's a guy who's been running missions, you just like comic books, you just make time do whatever. Fuck time.
Yeah, that's fair. I was gonna say you're right. You could kind of skip all over and have him just running around. It's you do not serialized, but what's the other one? Where it's procedural, where he just kind of does different missions, wild missions. But I mean,
but then that's kind of lame. I don't want that.
I don't think they're gonna do that because James Gunn is writing the 8 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna write 8 unique stories. I think there's a thread. There's gonna be an arc.
I'm just saying what I think is gonna happen.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's gonna.
Let's just say I expect better. I expect better than that.
I hope he doesn't. I don't want John Cena's character to die now. Now that I know there's going to be more, I think it would suck to kill him off. That's me personally.
Well, I mean, he might die, but we know what is dying. That's Supergirl. That shit's ending next season.
Yo, that motherfucker went for 3 from deep, man.
She should have died a long time ago, man.
And you know what's rough about that, though? You announced Superman is coming this season, and then in the same season, by the way, we're getting rid of Supergirl. It's like, yo, that's rough, man. Like, you could have had both of them for a little bit.
Are they getting rid of Batwoman too?
No, a black woman is taking over as Batwoman.
I'd rather you keep Supergirl and get rid of Batwoman, period.
Yep.
I understand the movement behind it, but you can always find that in anything else. It's just when it shows bad, it's just bad because it's bad. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was so bad I stopped watching.
Yeah, that's how you know it's bad. If Dave doesn't finish your season, you have a bad show on your hands. He should be your Dave should be a freaking.
I believe this test was flat.
Dave's in the test audience.
Shit. Yeah, that's wild. I mean, I think CW is making some weird moves, but I feel like Skinny called a whole bunch of this. He was just like, they're going to start shifting the universe over to HBO or DC Universe Online is what you said, right? Which is just going to become HBO now. So, it's
pretty much done.
They also said they're going to phase out everything and the things are just going to die off gracefully, which, I mean...
Yeah. DC Universe Online is done, eh? They're not putting original series on it anymore. They're transitioning everything over to HBO Max.
Yeah.
And if the rumor I read was correct, they're also just going to be moving to like Marvel Unlimited, where it's just comic books.
That's what I heard too.
It's just going to be, so we'll see. But I mean, it makes sense. We called this from jump that if HBO Max comes along, they're going to move the shows to HBO Max. It doesn't make sense. You either merge them or you're going to move everything over and make DC just a comic book thing.
Why have 3 different platforms that could try to separate your universes in that manner? It doesn't make any sense. HBO Max, DC Universe, CW. But then they're all connected. I still want CW to go. CW doesn't even need to be. Why? Take the good shows off of CW. Stargirl should be on freaking HBO Max.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, that sucks that they went exclusive CW. Because that was
pretty stupid. But they realized this is a way for us to keep... Okay. It was all part of their plan. They knew Arrow was pretty much done. They probably knew Supergirl was going to be done at some point soon. Batwoman was pretty much done. They just needed something to hold on to in the CW. Huh?
What's going to happen to the Flash?
They're going to end it.
It's done too. So Stargirl is the new universe they're going to create things around on the CW.
That's so rough.
Yeah.
Shit. Wow, I hate that I called that.
Well, you never know. Flash could potentially stay because they're the ones that play around the most with. Flash could potentially get merged into that one because they're the ones that played the
Flash has run its course, bro. No pun intended. But he's out. He's out of Speed Force, bro. He's done.
No, I agree. I think they had a good run for the most part.
Was that Skinny?
There's always Black Lightning.
Oh, is that still on?
Yeah, I forgot about Black Lightning.
Yo, they need to kill the whole CW. Forget even saving Stargirl. Let's just get everything off.
The crazy part is
Legends.
You know what? Toby's right. They just merged all those universes together, and Blacklight and Stargirl is the only one that's not technically in the same universe. He's right. End that universe. Legends somehow.
the Green Lantern with John Diggle.
That's no point. There was no point in doing that.
Why did they do that?
It was weird, right? It was like they wanted their own Smallville's reveal ending.
Yeah.
That was it. It was only for glamour. There was nothing else.
Yeah.
No substance.
It was
why would we want Diggle to be Green Lantern anyway?
I just want there to be Green Lantern series.
Huh?
I just want there to be a Green Lantern series. I want someone to do Green Lantern right.
Steward in the show. So
I'm standing here saying I want someone to do Green Lantern some goddamn justice. Pick whichever one you want. Mm-hmm.
But don't you want it done as a movie? Green Lantern's big enough that I want it done as a movie. I don't want it done as a series. I don't want him running a beat. You know which one could do a series? Kyle Rayner or Reiner, whatever.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
Guy Gardner could easily do a series.
No, Guy Gardner needs his space stuff, and they're not going to spend the money.
Yeah.
If you're going to do Guy Gardner, you got to do the whole space and like. Say what?
That's interesting. And what tone?
What tone was? Did you have that?
I'm sorry, Dave. I really didn't hear what you said.
Like if you're saying that because of the space stuff, but if they do, if there's shows out there like Star Trek and shit and Mandalorian, why can't you do a half decent Green Lantern of Guy Gardner going from planet to planet doing his freaking shit that he has to do for the
on CW? Oh, I thought we were talking about CW.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
more
you're
like
not going to get that on CW.
Let's talk about like just HBO take the property and do.
So that was going to be my question. If we're talking about a Green Lantern show, what's going to be the tone of the show?
Yeah,
right?
Okay.
Is it going to be set in the same dark? It's got to be set in a Teen Titans kind of dark verse.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, Titans, not Teen Titans. Titans.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, that's the only way you could do it justice. So I agree with you. Sorry, I thought you were talking about doing Green Lantern on CW, like we were talking about with Diggle, and I was like,
I agree. Kill CW Legends first. Get rid of it and fuck it. the only person who should survive the CW verse is Constantine because he's already jumped
from
network.
NBC.
He's allowed to go to HBO.
Did Constantine mix with Lucifer at some point?
Yes.
Yeah. In the crossover.
And they knew each other. So there was the nod to the fact that like we've met before.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's cool. I just started watching Lucifer because it's on Netflix now, and it's not as bad as I thought.
Oh yeah, next week we got to do Teenage Bounty Hunters because
I started watching that.
We got to talk about Lucifer update because we didn't. I don't think we ever reviewed. We have a whole bunch of shows, but we're pretty much done this week. I mean, the last thing.
When did Titans come out?
When did it come?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure. Sorry. But yeah, one last thing that we have here. Damon Lindelof dedicated his Watchmen Emmy for limited series win to the victims and survivors of the Tulsa 1921 massacre. So shout outs to him for showing love, respect, and shining a light on something that happened in history. I mean, we all know when Watchmen started, that first episode, a lot of people did not know what happened in Tulsa in 1921. I'm in Canada. I didn't. Yeah. You had said I knew in Canada it wasn't the most commonly known thing, but I expected all the Americans to know. And when I saw how many people were tweeting like, "Wait, this happened," I was just like, "Wait, do people not know this happened?" So
this and many more.
Yeah.
Just like it.
Yeah, Seneca in Central Park. That's another one, guys. Look,
the Central Park one.
Look these things up. They have killed Black communities multiple times. I don't want to end on a dark note, but this is something that's been done. So, shout outs to him. I know a lot of people were hoping for another season of the series, but this is one of those times where I think the director, writer, creator, showrunner, I think he's right. You told one story. That's all you wanted to tell. It was a continuation of the comic. That's it. He doesn't not everything has to be multiple series. And if anything, someone comes along as good as Damon 15 years from now and picks up and does another series set in the future again.
Yeah.
And that would be cool.
People are it's become such a money grab that they rush quality, right? So I respect artists and creators who decide to stick to like integrity,
Facts. Quality over quantity. HBO, Showtime, AMC, Netflix. That should be the goal now. We're not in the soap opera era. We're not in the selling washing machines era. We've moved past that. Television is more than just selling stuff. I mean, a huge part of it is still selling stuff, but like shows like
let's stimulate our brains in the right way.
Yeah, man. You have the platforms, so you don't need to dumb it down anymore.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Guys, that's the whole show. Anything you people want to tell the wonderful listeners?
Check out my new review on actionfigure.com.
Yeah, man. Oh, you have it on. Oh, dope. Yes. So, I forgot that you got the site. So actionfiggy, Figgy.
actionfiggy.com. It'll bring you to a plethora of where you can find links to all my stuff. And the review's up on YouTube. It's doing pretty well. Storm and Thunderbird 2-pack review. Check that out. I'm probably going to be doing another little video talking about why Quebec needs to fix their language laws about packaging and so on, but we'll get into that later.
actionfiggyskinny.com. Dope.
Yeah, there you go. Guys, we'll be back with another one next week, and we're going to be working on some more specials and stuff, so make sure you guys stay connected and watching our stuff on the regular. Also, don't forget that our wonderful friends over at the Morning Detour still have a contest going on, so make sure you guys check it out. I didn't play the promo this week, but it's the same. The link is in the description of this episode, so you guys can just click that link, Morning Detour. It'll take you to our link tree. It's at the top, and you can sign up. You can't win something if you don't sign up. That's just simple. Why not just sign up? You never know. I won a trip to Australia once. Why? I just wrote my name on a piece of paper and put it in the box. That was it. That's all I had to do. Sometimes you win shit. That's how crazy the world is. So do it. That's it, guys. That's the whole show. We are out. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Deuces.
Oh.